Hello everyone, welcome back to the class. So this week we are finally meeting one of the smartest people in this Three Kingdom world, which is Zhuge Liang, or we can call him Mr. Sleeping Dragon. And in this video, I'm going to do a summary of the plot we skipped and the plot we're going to read for this week, and also pointed out some very interesting places which I found intriguing between the TV series and the novel. So Zhuge Liang is also called Mr. Sleeping Dragon, which means first he is a dragon, so he is not like normal people. He has a lot of ability and even have some supernatural power you will see later in the chapters. But he is a little bit special because he is always sleeping. That means he didn't go out actively to enter the world and to join other warlords to serve other masters and help them to fight against each other. He avoided all these kind of stuff and only recluse in his little county and perform the reclusion. So he is like focusing on his own stuff, but avoid getting into the mundane, chaotic mundane world outside. That is why he was called Mr. Sleeping Dragon. So I think we can first do a summary of the skipped chapters and to connect last week's plot to this week's plot. So if you still remember, last week, by the end of the story, we'll see Guan Yu already knows the news of Liu Bei. He knows Liu Bei is still alive. Liu Bei is with Yuan Shao, so he will try to seek for Liu Bei against all the odds. He will try his best to escape from Cao Cao's camp and join Liu Bei in Yuan Shao's camp. And finally, we will see the Liu Guan Zhang three brothers again reunite. And later, there are some major changes in this Three Kingdom world. So the first is the downfall and the death of Yuan Shao and his heir. And so Yuan Shao is defeated by Cao Cao, and his empire is extinguished. So Cao Cao take all his territory and consolidate his power over the north. So Cao Cao is now the most powerful warlord, controlling all the north, a lot of territories. Cao Cao is the most powerful one at this moment. And also Liu Bei, because Yuan Shao is defeated, so Liu Bei has to escape from there again and take refuge with a distant kinsman Liu Biao in Jingzhou. So currently the story is happened when Liu Bei is living with Liu Biao in Jingzhou. And now let's turn to the plots for this week. So first is chapter 36. We'll see first Xu Shu, another very talented scholar, helps Liu Bei to win some battles against Cao Cao's army. And Cao Cao panicked. He thought, why suddenly Liu Bei, he became so powerful, and there should be someone helping him, and I want to get that person. That is why Cao Cao tried to hijack Xu Shu's mother and make a fraud letter pretending written by Xu Shu's mother to Xu Shu and call Xu Shu back. And Xu Shu somehow believed in this letter and leaves Liu Bei and to go with Cao Cao. But before he left, he recommends another talented scholar, which is our protagonist, Mr. Sleeping Dragon Zhuge Liang, to Liu Bei, and said, that guy, Zhuge Liang, he is actually more talented than me and more capable than me. Maybe you can also find him and let him serve you, help you to re-establish this Han royal family domination. And then let's move on to chapter 37. So Liu Bei basically just listened to Xu Shu's recommendation and try everything to find this Mr. Sleeping Dragon, Zhuge Liang. He actually pays 2 visits to see Zhuge Liang. One, as what I show in this illustration, is in the snow. So no matter how bad the weather condition is, no matter how bad the environment is, he just so insists on seeking Zhuge Liang. But all these attempts failed. And then move on to chapter 38. I didn't assign this, but actually the content is covered in the latter half of the TV episode. And also, if you still remember, at the very beginning of the semester, I assigned you one short piece about when Zhuge Liang is trying to plan for the blueprint for Liu Bei, and saying like the territory, the whole empire under the heaven should be divided into three. And this is what I will like you to do, Master Liu Bei. That kind of plot is also included in chapter 38. So first in chapter 38, in his third visit, Liu Bei finally meets Zhuge Liang. And then Zhuge Liang laid out the whole possible scheme for Liu Bei. So first is Liu Bei should retreat to the southwest, and then form an alliance with Sun Quan in the southeast to fight against Cao Cao together. So basically, the world should be divided into three, with Cao Cao in the north, and Sun Quan in the southeast, and Liu Bei have the territory in the southwest, which is very difficult in transportation. So he has the natural protection. And that is the whole scheme Zhuge Liang planned for Liu Bei. And as the story goes, we will see Liu Bei basically follows Zhuge Liang's scheme and try to fight against Cao Cao together with Sun Quan. That is a story happened in the movie Red Cliff. We'll see that in next week and next week. And we'll see how actually the first time in the story, the three kingdoms get together, and each of them take a very important role in this one big fight, the big fight at the Red Cliff. And one thing very important in these two chapters is the three visit to the thatched cottage, which in Chinese is called 三顾茅庐. Even nowadays, in modern Chinese, when we want to describe someone just so obsessed with doing something and repeatedly go somewhere to do something, we use this word 三顾茅庐. So it's describing someone with that kind of being extraordinarily persistent about seeking someone or something. And you'll see that's very interesting. I think from last week, I also introduced some words we still using in modern Chinese. So you can see the influence of the three kingdoms. The novel, the story is so big. Even in today's contemporary environment, we are still using all the words which has a three kingdom origin. So that all basically integrated into the modern Chinese life. But I have a question, just like the one the official besides Liu Bei is asking in the TV episode. So he said, you, which means Liu Bei, you are not acquainted with him, Zhuge Liang, and you have not even seen him before. Why be so concerned? That is when Liu Bei was saying, oh, I'm so worried, the world being so chaotic and a lot of turbulence happening. When Zhuge Liang himself alone traveling, will he be safe? Will he doing well? All these kind of things. And that official said, why? You didn't even know this guy. Why you are so concerned about him? And my question is also like this. Why? Why Liu Bei is so obsessed about finding Zhuge Liang? Why this is the top most significant thing for him? I always think there's something else than just seeking for the talent to help him to restore all the reign of the Han royal family. There's something else. And I think I really want to listen to your opinion about the specific event, and we can have an interesting discussion in the Thursday discussion section. Okay, so one more thing I found interesting is Stillwater's prediction about Zhuge Liang serving Liu Bei. So Stillwater is the famous recluse, and he made a lot of predictions. One of this is saying, Sleeping Dragon has found his lord, but not his time. A pity. I think this sentence is very interesting. Why he said, Sleeping Dragon has found his lord? What does that mean? But not his time, what does that mean? And I have some guess. So first, sleeping dragon has found his lord means Liu Bei is a worthy lord. So when Zhuge Liang actually go out and go to be an official to serve Liu Bei, he is willing to do that, and he deserved that. That means Sleeping Dragon found his lord. They deserve each other. It's a great match. But the latter half of the sentence, not his time, also alluded us to some not good ending for this pair of people, because it kind of telling us Liu Bei is doomed to fail, and he is doomed to fail not because of his capability, not because his own ability, but because of the heaven's command. So he just has to fail. His fate is to be fail. And I won't. We will get to the end we'll get to the end of the story to see what actually going on later. And there's no spoiler because it's actually a history. So if you check the history, you will see actually what is going on later. But I just want to draw your attention to all these bits of allusion spread everywhere in the story as you read the story to get to the end. And one more thing I found interesting, which is a big difference from the novel to the TV series, is whether Zhuge Liang is intentionally or unintentionally avoid Liu Bei, because why it's such a coincidence when Liu Bei visits Zhuge Liang's house, he's just not there, and repeatedly he's not there. So I think in the novel it is not so clear, and the novel leaves us such a huge space for imagination. You can give your own interpretation on what kind of person Zhuge Liang is, whether he's intentionally avoiding or just happened to be out. And in the novel, the text goes, the lad said, "My master went out for a bit earlier this morning." So it just, he's going out, but I don't know why he goes out. I don't have speculation for the reason behind. I just stating the fact he's out. But in the TV series, actually, the director or the series itself give us an interpretation, because the lad's words is changed. And he said, "Master Liu Bei, our master knew that an important guest would be visiting soon, and so he left on a journey." So that's very intentional and kind of explains our curiosity why Zhuge Liang happened not to be at home. And but I think the TV series is just one side of the story, and it's just one possible interpretation. And you can give your own interpretation on this specific plot and think about whether it is a intentional or unintentional avoidance. So lastly, I want to talk about Liu Bei's relationship to Guan Yuan, Zhang Fei, and to Zhuge Liang. So in chapter 1, if you still remember, the three warriors get together and they performed a ritual, swore to be brothers. So the text goes, "So swearing, Xuande became the eldest brother, Luo Guan the second, and Zhang Fei the youngest." After ceremonies, they butchered the bull and spread for the feast in the peach garden for the 300 local youths they have recruited, and all drank to their heart's content. So basically, they performed a formal ritual to tell the God or to tell the heaven, now we became brothers. And that bond is certified by the heaven and officially understand or known by the God. So that kind of relationship. But in chapter 38, I didn't sign this chapter, but we can see there's a description about the relationship between between Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang. So the text goes, Xuande treated Kongming as his mentor. They ate together and slept together and spent the days analyzing events in the empire. So I think I highlighted the two keywords so you can see the relationship is defined differently. So first, from Liu Bei to Guan Yu to Zhang Fei, they are brothers. So they are that kind of relationship. but between Xuande and Kongming, so between between Liu Bei and Zhuge Liang, even if they are also very close, but Xuande treated Zhuge Liang as his mentor. So they are more like a teacher student or advisor advisee, that kind of relationship. But especially from this description, we will see that kind of relationship is more close because they eat together, sleep together, spend the days together. Basically, they just being together all the time. They have a lot to talk about, a lot to learn from each other, and that is a new established relationship. And later in the story, we will see how this newly established relationship will influence Guan Yu and Zhang Fei's idea about Zhuge Liang, and how these two relationships have some dynamic and have even some conflicts with each other. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a comments down below, and don't forget to leave your idea about the close reading assignments on the forum. That is the additional post for this week. And if you have any question about the close reading assignments, please let me know, and I'll see you on Thursday. Okay, bye.